What is up, YouTube? Welcome to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Ethereum and how this next cycle could be massive. So we're going to be running over the chart. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at in two different time frames, the smaller time frame and the bigger time frame. And we're going to discuss from a market cycle perspective what's going on with the Ethereum chart. I'm also going to be running up on some stock stuff, talking about the US stock market really since the beginning of its super cycle back in 1872, and going over hyperinflation with the dollar. So go ahead and hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button with the notification bell, because I'm uploading 5 videos a week on this channel. And you guys can continue to expect that content and continue to learn from these videos. And comment down below where you're tuning in from in the world as well. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. Ethereum. This coin has been around for a while now. This coin really created the hype of the ICO phase and mania that happened in 2017, and it really contributes to a large percentage of the total altcoin market capitalization, has a lot of retail and institutional investors that have been watching this coin for a long time now, and it has done amazing gains in the past with incredible moves on the upside, and has retraced quite significantly from its peak, around 80% down from its peak, down to these lower price regions. So what's going on from a market cycle perspective, and why could Ethereum be such a big coin in the next cycle? One of the first things that I want to bring to you guys' attention, and I've talked about this a little bit in the past, but Ethereum has done an ABC correction. So an ABC correction is the best buying opportunity you can have from an Elliott wave theory perspective. These give you huge potential profits with very, very low risk, meaning that you can get into the market for a very cheap price, and your downside potential is a lot less than your upside potential. With this type of an ABC correction, it reminds me a lot of 2015 Bitcoin after it did its correction. So we'll go ahead and look at that right now. If you go over to the Bitcoin chart and you look at one of its very first cycles, you can see this ABC correction pattern that happened, A, B, C. And then we consolidated, we started to break up a little bit, and then we made a major breakout in price and started trending on the upside. So with Ethereum, we can actually go to the Ethereum chart, go back to it, and look at the similarities between that and Bitcoin. So this right here is that ABC correction. Here's that consolidation, a little break upwards, and now we're looking for that major breakout to confirm that we're making higher highs and higher lows. Now, if it does what Bitcoin did in the past, Ethereum could easily be worth $10,000, $20,000 in the future from following the same kind of fractal and prices that Bitcoin followed in the past. So what we're really looking for here with Ethereum is to get that breakout pattern that Bitcoin created, where it went really, really parabolic, and make a higher high above the $340 resistance level that has been formed that used to be support of the A wave on the way down. So if we can make a higher high above that pattern and start to move on the upside, then we'd be making a lot more of a rounded shape right here, and we can go parabolic into price discovery. So price discovery is when you're in prices that you've never been before, so you're discovering new land above. And that's what we're really seeing here as a potential for Ethereum. So this right here is a reason that I'm personally very excited about the Ethereum market cycle, and why I think it could be a very massive coin in this next bull run that's coming. So really what you want to do if you're looking into purchasing Ethereum, or you're thinking about getting into it, or maybe you just have Bitcoin, or you haven't done a lot of altcoin investing in the past, Ethereum is one of the coins that you can get in pretty easily. It's available on Coinbase. It's available on lots of different platforms that allow you to purchase Bitcoin. You can go ahead and purchase Ethereum as well. So it's definitely something to at least have in your mind as a potential investment. And if you're talking about percentage gains in this cycle, it's really something else when you start to break down the Ethereum cycle and look at potential percentage gains. So let me just go ahead and get this. So in Elliott wave theory, this will be a 1 and a 2 wave in the first cycle. And what we can take from that is that the 3 wave is going to be at least the 1618. Now, what actually happens usually in markets is we by far extend the minimum target of the 3 wave. Especially in the past with cryptocurrency, we've gone significantly higher than the minimum target for the 3 wave. So you can start to see the price targets when you use the Fib extension tool for Ethereum and see why this can be such a big coin in the next cycle. And if we're looking from an Elliott wave perspective here, we have a 1, 2, and then we'll be going up for that 3 wave. Again, it's likely to overextend, so I'm going to drop this around the 2618, and then we can move up like that into the future. Now, 5th waves can also be extended 5th waves, and so this is why it's very possible that Ethereum could even be worth upwards of $10,000 and $20,000 in the future, because what happens in markets is they start to accumulate, they start to break their all-time high, then they accelerate quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker until you're just going extremely parabolic. Now, obviously, there's dips along the way, but overall, you're experiencing a parabolic trend, meaning that it's growing at a logarithmic rate. It gets faster and faster. And we can see that with the stock market here, and you can see that this is clear back in 1872, and then you start to move upwards. You have a large 80% drop, just like Ethereum was a very large 80+% drop. And then you have a bottom pattern forming, you break out, and then you really, really start to curve on the upside and go parabolic, getting quicker and quicker with that price action. And this is actually a good example. This is a much longer chart that we're looking at here. This is clear back from 1872. But you can actually see the Elliott wave structure of the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5th wave that's coming. Now, this can either be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this, or maybe that we still haven't quite completed the 3 wave. We'll have a 4 and then we'll have a 5. Either way, this is a huge parabolic move for the S&P 500 that's lasted a long time. And what I'm looking at with Ethereum is one of these longer term growth curves where we see Fibonacci extensions reached and even shot through quite significantly and overextended past them. So let's look and see what happened to Bitcoin as continuing to go along with that perspective of what can happen comparing the two charts. So looking at Bitcoin here, we can draw our Fib extension tool just like that. And you'll quickly see that the 1618, it just made easy cake of the 1618. It was just shot right through it very quickly. The 3618 shot right through it, and then we extended clear all the way up, way past all of our Fibonacci extensions before we finally reached a top in Bitcoin. So that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen in Ethereum, is that we have a similar market cycle repeat. It really does look like early days Bitcoin, and it's definitely a coin that you guys should all at least have on your watch list, and something that wouldn't hurt to have in your portfolio. This isn't financial advice by any means. Disclaimer, I've got those in the description as well, but I do definitely see this as a great potential for profits in the next bullish cycle. So what I want you guys to watch with Ethereum and some of the levels that I'm watching is for us to start bottoming here, because we've been on a shorter term downtrend, and we finally started to see a little bit of relief from that downtrend. Now, we don't know for sure if this is going to reverse right here, but I do think that we have a lot of potential to see a reversal in this area where we can push back up, come back down to support, And if we start to make that higher high, higher low pattern where you can actually see the market clearly making higher highs and higher lows, that would be a time to really be keen on investing in the Ethereum markets and getting ready for that next super cycle. So this accumulation phase is completely normal. This is something that's happened to Bitcoin in the past. So for all the people that are always like, man, Ethereum's never going to go up again, Ethereum's that crappy ICO token, just look at the market cycles, compare them to other market cycles like Bitcoin, and you'll see that the same type of story has been told in the past about other coins. So what is going to fuel this? What is going to give us the juice to actually do this? Well, really what's fueling this and what's fueling this huge move in the stock market that's been going on for a long time is the fact that the purchasing power of the US dollar, because of inflation, has gone consistently down since 1913, around the time the Federal Reserve was founded. So when you're looking at the purchasing power of the dollar and you see this huge downtrend and we're below 10% purchasing power since 1913, you can start to understand why these things are gaining value, because these coins are scarce, whereas the dollar is not a scarce asset in any way. It's not even considered an asset because it continues to lose value. It is guaranteed to have less value in the future than it does right now. And that's just the way that inflation works. When you start printing tons and tons and tons of money over and over and over and over again, of course, the value, the perceived value of that money is going to go down. And so that's what drives the value of the stock market. Also, businesses, economy, creating real value, those things do drive the stock market as well. I'm not just going to sit here and be like, oh, it's just because we're printing infinite money that all the prices of everything is going up. It's both that we're creating real businesses, we're creating real economic value, we're growing as an economy, we're creating new inventions, new technologies, and we're printing tons of money at the same time. So that's kind of what causes this huge influx of value and increase of value in the stock market. And that's also going to be the thing that helps fuel cryptocurrency. The other thing that's going to help fuel cryptocurrency is unbanked countries, places that can't access banks. They can use cryptocurrency because over 90% of the world has access to a flip phone or even a smartphone. And flip phones, by the way, can send cryptocurrency back and forth with text messages, and you can actually convert your money and you can send money to each other and from each other, all with very, very basic technological devices. So it basically banks the entire planet. And so when you're looking at something that had this huge market that nobody was touching, there's all of this untapped potential, crypto comes along and taps directly into that potential. You're going to have a flood of value created for the planet. And that value that's created will be reflected in the prices of these coins. And I believe Ethereum will be one of those coins that does well. Also, Bitcoin, just like in my video yesterday, I was talking about how bullish Bitcoin was. Go watch it. Bitcoin has continued to see upside movement. We've actually broken out of the falling wedge pattern, and we're seeing a lot of growth in the shorter time frames here. So really what I want to see for Bitcoin now is to see continued strength up above this resistance, some type of basing structure where the market consolidates or makes some type of base. And I would love to see us get up towards this resistance and even past it if possible. That is a pretty big resistance level though, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if something like this happens where we have some type of rejection before pushing through it. Either way, you guys, it looks like we might break out sooner than expected. This was pretty elongated, and the reason that I made it so long is because I wanted to be conservative with the projections of where Bitcoin's going. And now it's looking like we're going to potentially get up to that resistance quicker than we originally projected. So that is good news for Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin does well, the rest of the markets do well as a whole, because when new money comes into Bitcoin, there's room for altcoins to grow. So Ethereum is a great chart, you guys. Again, wouldn't surprise me at all if we see a $10,000 Ethereum in the future in my lifetime. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if we even extended past those levels. It actually has a very similar price profile as Bitcoin did in that previous cycle. Even the prices are similar. Bitcoin rejected just above $1,000, came back down to around 100. This one actually went a little bit lower, down to about 89. Bitcoin went to about $150. So they have even similar prices that they've played in the past. So that's kind of what I'm watching with Ethereum, you guys. Good news for crypto, good news for the whole markets. I'm looking forward to updating you guys tomorrow. So again, hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button with the notification bell so that you guys can get 5 videos every single week in the cryptocurrency markets and stay updated with prices and projections of what these coins can actually do. I appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in today, and I will see you guys in the next videos. As always, stay profitable out there.